Dreaming of studying in Finland? Don't let the paperwork hold you back. In this video, I'll be giving you the exact step required to apply for the Finnish Residence Permit as an international student and showing you the various ways in which you can avoid most common pitfalls. Stick around to make your move to Finland smooth and stress-free.
Before that, let's take today's word.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison. As we earlier said, we'll be talking about the various steps required to apply or get a Finnish residence permit. First thing on our list is to understand what a residence permit is. This is a document that permits you to stay in the country for an extended period of time as a student. The various types of residence permit in Finland are the Type A residence permit, which is the continuous residence permit mostly granted to students like you. The next residence permit is the Type B, which is a temporary residence permit. And the last but not the least is the Type P, which is the permanent residence permit. So now, who requires a residence permit to come to Finland? The non-EU and EEA citizens do require a residence permit. That is, if you're coming from any part of the world, Africa, Asia, or America, you would require a Type A residence permit as an international student. To get started, let's talk about the residence permit requirement. So the first thing required as an international student is your acceptance letter. You need to have an acceptance letter from a Finnish institution or educational institution that proves that you have been granted admission into their premises. The next thing that you require for your residence permit application is an international passport, which should be valid for at least 6 months from the time of application. You equally require a proof of fund, which is about 6,720 euros if you're expecting to stay in Finland for more than a year, or 560 euros a month if you're expected to stay in Finland for less than a year. The various documents that you can provide to prove your fund. The first thing is your bank statement. You can provide at least a 3 months bank statement while filing your application. You may equally require to provide a scholarship form that has been granted to you by the school or by the government. The third thing that you need is a financial grant. This can be a financial aid from the government or a loan that you took in order to cover your tuition. The next thing is a health insurance. Generally, to travel the EU countries, you need a health insurance of at least 40,000 euros to 120,000 euros. To get this, it will cost you about $100. You can get this through various insurance companies. You can equally check this online. The next one is your application form and visa fee. So when we talk about application form, we're talking about your application on the Enter Finland account. You would have to submit an application and pay a visa fee of 470 euros if you're doing an online application, or 520 euros if you're doing a paper application. Now, you have all the required documents needed to apply for your Finnish residence permit. Let's talk about the processing. An important thing that you need to take into consideration, you need to start early. As soon as you get your acceptance letter from your school, make sure you launch your application. This is so important in order to avoid any delay. Next thing for you to do is to launch your application, online application on the Enter Finland account, where you would select the application that is related to you, which will be study visa. And this application form, you would click on study and it will direct you to start your application. Once you're there, you have to fill in every required information. Make sure you fill in everything and upload every document that is required. You would find a guide as well on this website. Once you're done submitting your online application, the next thing for you to do is to visit a Finnish mission or a consulate. In most cases, you would have a VFS center in your country. So in countries where you would need to do an online booking, make sure you do that through the VFS Global website. And if you're in a situation where you're in a country where they do not have an online website, example like Nigeria, what you can do is to send an email to the VFS Global Nigeria and with your details, and they'll secure a date for you. So once you're done with that, make sure you set a reminder for your appointment so that you don't miss this. Now that you've submitted your online application and you've gone for your biometrics and interview, the next thing to do is to sit and wait for your approval. Generally, the visa processing period ranges between 1 month to 3 months, and many times this may vary from person to person and the situation at hand. Now that you've finally gotten your residence permit, yay! The next step is arrival. Pack your bags and get ready to fly. So now you're in Finland. The first important thing that you need to do as soon as you arrive in Finland is to register to the various authority, such as the DVV, which registers your municipality, and the police for your Finnish ID card, and most especially your Kela or the social insurance scheme. This will go a long way to help. So here we are. You finally know the steps and procedure required to get a Finnish residence permit. Now let's talk about common mistakes to avoid while applying for your Finnish residence permit. Number 1, make sure you double check all the documents that you're submitting for your application, being online or for your biometrics. Make sure you double check, and equally even the information that you're uploading on the Enter Finland account, make sure you double check. Number 2, make sure you have sufficient funds while applying for your visa, because failure to do so would lead to rejection or denial. So to be on the safe side, I would advise you to go to the Enter Finland account. From there, you would see the financial requirements needed for students. You would find a detailed explanation on that. For the last point, as I said earlier, do not delay starting your application. As soon as you get your acceptance letter, start your application. Before we get to the end of this video, I have some final tips and recommendation that will make your moving to Finland smooth and easy. And the first thing will be integrate groups. These groups will go a long way to help you, especially during your visa processing. You can find information about application and all information related to life in Finland. It will equally help you build a community before you even move. Tip number 2, make sure you keep copies of all the documents that you upload to your Enter Finland account or that you submit when you go for your VFS appointment. The last, contact migri.fi for any queries or questions that you may have. We have now come to the end of this video. If you're watching this video and you have already gone through this procedure, leave a message in the comment section telling us about how your procedure went. And if you're planning to apply for a Finnish residence permit, leave your questions in the comment section if you didn't find all the information that you needed. In addition, I'll be linking in the description box the various links that you would need for your application, which includes the enterfinland.fi, migri.fi, and many other links that I talked about in my video. Thank you for watching. And again, I am Alison. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and like.